Hello, this is Arun Pasuparthi again, and I welcome you to the video series of how to crack the OCMJEA exam. In this video, we are going to review quickly the exam topics that you need to master in order to clear your Enterprise Architect certification exams. Because, as I mentioned in the previous video, this is not one exam, folks. This is three exams: an objective type exam, an assignment that you need to submit, an essay, and then in fact there is another course that you need to attend in order to be certified. First part of the syllabus is design patterns. Now this is about demonstrating your knowledge in all the Java E design patterns and also the gang of four design patterns. Now, this requires you a thorough understanding of both sets of design patterns in order to answer the questions which will be on the lines of a scenario that is provided to you, and you need to choose the right design pattern in order to solve the scenario. Along with the design patterns, you will also be questioned on anti patterns. Anti patterns are patterns of things that are done in an enterprise which do not yield positive results. There are anti patterns like a golden hammer rule. Now, the golden hammer and anti pattern says that no matter what the situation is, I would always want to use the same technology. How often have you seen or come across Java candidates or architectures who claim to be architects, who always say that no matter what the circumstances and no matter what kind of application it is, they always suggest exactly same frameworks, exactly same rules, and exactly same methods of doing things. This is a classic example of a golden hammer anti-pattern. The next part is application design concepts and principles. Now, this is where your object oriented knowledge is tested to the core. You will have to understand what separation of concerns is, especially in the Java E space, and you need to have a reliable, correct interpretation of, of concepts like non functional requirements, starting from extensibility to manageability to availability, the whole nine yards there, and also have a solid understanding of how there would be a trade off in performance and availability when you choose extensibility, or when you have modularity, how your manageability is going to be impacted, and when you have high available system, how your consistency might be impacted because of the same, right? So you need to have a solid understanding of these in order to clear the exam questions. Next is common architectures. Now, you need to understand different different types of architectures, like client server architecture, or thin client architecture, and some of the architectural related challenges which you could see in the web tier, like authentication, authorization, scaling, clustering, etc., and also how to do tier to tier communication using protocols like RMI, IIOP, and Corba. The next one is integration and messaging. Now, in this, you should have ability to identify APIs that are available for Java EE technology, like JPAs, JDBCs, RMIs, web services, in order to integrate with other systems. And also, you need to have a very good understanding of things like HTTP, JSON, SOAP, REST, JMS, JCA, and how to fit your Java ecosystem in the service-oriented architecture. Lot of things, but again, I'm not telling you all these things to scare you, but I'm just telling you all these things so that hearing these familiar concepts, you gain confidence. And I'm sure all of these concepts are not new. There are tons and tons of material available in each of these concepts. All you need to do is spend a little bit of time every day and go through these concepts. Business tier technologies. This is EJB oriented, and majority of the time you will be asked questions on classifying different types of enterprise Java beans as session beans, entity beans, and message driven beans. Of course, the entity beans have now become EJB entities, which are like a JPA sort of implementation, but have container managed, transactions, right? And then comes web tier technologies, and here you need to understand session management. You need to understand JSP server technology and when to use what, benefits of using a container, EJB container along with the web container, and things like that, and identifying differences between client pull versus server push technologies, and drawbacks of using a browser to access asynchronous lightweight processes, and advantages of the same kind of an architecture, right? The third one is security, probably the most important aspect of this entire certification, and you'll be grilled on these concepts. Fortunately, there is so much of material available on the internet on how to secure your applications, because security is a very important topic. And here too, you will be asked questions on some of the security related threats and some of the security related limitations when you're using webstart applets, things like security manager. And also you will be asked about how to create deployment descriptors, the jazz technology, how to do encryption using JSIP like libraries, and how to restrict access to the external world by putting your web server in a either way on the demilitarized zone. I'm sorry, I could not pronounce that word, but every aspect of security will be tested here. Now this is a lot of things. Okay, now however, it is not rocket science. All these things have been explored, all these things have been explained on the internet as individual topics here or there. The goal of this video series is to explain each of them again to you in the context of Java EE certification, so that it makes it easier for you to become a certified architect, or easier for you to become a solution architect in the Java space in general. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. In the next video, we will talk about the strategy. Thank you.